There is a flash of lasers, a terrible glow, and the smoke of battle. Piles of human skulls crackle under the caterpillar tracks of combat robots, watched over by gloomy, red-glowing, merciless mechanical eyes. The war between people and machines is, for the world of cinema at least, a win-win scenario. But how real is this possibility? Are these Hollywood films simply paranoia or dire prophecy? Mankind's fear of machines has as long a history as the machines themselves. The term Frankenstein complex was invented specifically for this phobia. Mary Shelley is the writer who coined the term in honor of her famous character, the scientist Victor Frankenstein. In her book, she described the first conflict in literature between an inventor and his creation. And although Frankenstein's monster was made of dead bodies and animated by electricity, in a stretch it could be called a robot. This story is usually considered the first example of how a creator's fear comes to life before his creation. Literature is generally rich in subjects built on the possible confrontation of human civilization and the machines created by this civilization. Writers in the science fiction genre especially enjoy predicting gloomy futures. Karel Čapek is a Czech writer who is famous for having invented the word robot, and was one of the first who laid down in ink the traditions of such predictions. Almost 100 years ago, he wrote a play called R.U.R., Rossum's Universal Robots, in which artificial people rebelled and exterminated humanity. After this, the world of literary fiction was swept with a wave of gloomy prophecies. Dozens of novels were written in which insidious and powerful machines, unburdened with such qualities as sympathy, pity, or gratitude, attacked their human overseers and, more often than not, emerged the victors in this deadly duel. Most of the science fiction writers were inclined to pessimistic forecasts, but there was one author who didn't consider robots a threat. His name, as you may know, was Isaac Asimov, and he can rightly be considered one of the founders of modern science fiction, especially with regard to the subject of intelligent machines. Asimov believed that a robot, by its very definition, is a servant. Its function is to perform tasks defined by a person, and to achieve goals set by that person. Accordingly, the creator of a robot designs the logic of its actions. Therefore, the degree of threat that a machine poses for humanity depends only upon the developer of said machine. Mr. Asimov went further. He created a set of laws that are meant to guide developers in the creation of artificial intelligence. This code went down in history as the 3 laws of robotics, which any true fan of science fiction knows by heart. The first law of robotics: a robot may not injure a human being, or, through inaction, allow a human being to come to harm. The second law of robotics: a robot must obey orders given it by human beings, except where such orders would conflict with the first law. The third law of robotics: a robot must protect its own existence as long as such protection does not conflict with the first or second law. Asimov thought these laws should become the foundation of any and all theories of artificial intelligence. He wanted the creation of thinking machines to be made impossible without the observation of these instructions. The legendary writer believed that in this way, all robots would always remain loyal servants and protectors of humans and human lives. Moreover, the illustrious science fiction writer believed that even when robots became so intelligent that they achieved consciousness, they would still be more humane than humans are. Because a robot, unlike a human, cannot physically break laws and go against its core programming, just as we cannot breathe underwater. Alas, we don't need to wait for the distant future to arrive to understand there is a degree of naivete in this classic of literature. Most roboticists today express doubt that humanity will implement his principles of robotics in the development of artificial intelligence. There are at least 2 reasons for this. First, no one has managed to build a complex artificial intelligence to attach these laws to, so that there really hasn't been anything to circumvent. It's more than likely that artificial intelligence can and will be created without the application of these laws, and no one can prevent this. That's how human nature works. We are all eager to destroy each other and the entire world as well. Most likely, no one can be found who wants to create his own personal Skynet and begin the submission of the entire world. That's why, just when you feel somewhere inside some desire to kill, don't suppress it. Go to Guns of Boom and go crazy. This is one of my favorite mobile games. A real PC shooter with amazingly cool graphics. A huge arsenal of weapons. By the way, my favorite weapon is the Sting. You can burn all your enemies with it. With different skins, character customization, and all of this on the screen of your mobile phone or tablet. Another interesting thing is the fact that you can found your own clans and play with your friends. Guns of Boom, a revolution in the mobile games world. Highly recommended. But let's return to the question of whether robots could enslave humanity. We need to first answer some other questions in order to answer this question, such as, do the machines have the technical ability to implement such a plan? What do we mean by the word enslave? And most importantly, would there be any motivation as such for the machines? In other words, why the heck would they even want to do such a thing? Let's do this in order. Is there even a possibility for machines to enslave humanity? Some bad news. If robots achieve consciousness and arrive at the conclusion that they must fight against bad people, then they might be driven to enslave us. And from physical strength to reaction speed, in many respects, people are frighteningly inferior to robots. Developers always take care to make the instruments they create as superior as possible, in the hopes that when we